Test. Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Maryland Ice Hockey here on the Maryland Hockey Network. My name is Mark McClory. It is a pleasure to have you with us here at the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland. My name is Mark McClory. I'm joined by Matt Fusillo here in a collaboration between the Maryland Hockey Network and Delaware Hockey Network. We're glad to welcome both groups of fans here for this ACHA Division II contest. And Matt, Maryland and Delaware both coming off back-to-back games. Delaware off a win against Drexel, Maryland off a loss against Rider. So kind of coming in different areas. What do you expect out of this game here tonight?
Well, first of all, this Maryland lineup looks a lot different. We talked with the coach before the game. He wants to see what works, shuffling things up for goals. You see Chase Wilson, second line center role, DePoy down to the third line, Pedersen down to the fourth. As far as the defense, a lot changed there. Ari and Tomaszewski will start the game on defense, but McAvoy is playing with height, Holman and McNamara. Coach really changed things up for tonight, and so we'll see how they could do with this one, different lineup.
And we are underway at the Gardens, where Maryland will try and corral it in their own zone. We'll give you tonight's starting lineups as this puck flips here along the boards and into the right corner of the offensive zone. Liam Eden gets the start on the first line with Tucker Healy and Patrick Beganowski. Defensive pairing, the top line, Daniel Tomaszewski's with Hunter Airy. And in goal tonight, starting for the Terps, it's Henry Pelletier as a wrist shot comes in and drifts wide. On the other side, let's give you the starters for Delaware. In between the posts, we'll have Joe Hooper. The top D pair will be Dylan Green and Patrick Flaherty. Larry Hooper, Calvin Ray Moore, and Joe Wojciech make up the first line offensively for the Hens.
This Maryland team, Coach Carter couldn't emphasize it enough. You cannot take any shifts off. You got to stay out of the box. They did a good job. 3 penalties last game, and that was their best mark for that of the season so far. You got to stay mentally focused is another thing. We didn't really see much of that last night against Rider, but this is a new team. They played at this arena before. Played this team as well. They lost 7-0 in their first game, but Coach didn't want to count that. Kind of want to make that a wash. It was their first game in 2 years. So this team is certainly looking a lot different compared to that night.
Loose puck here taken away by Wilson, who's getting a start in the second line. He had it taken away as he went past the blue line. It goes back to neutral ice, and now Benny Bergman will bring it in. Bergman goes behind the net, out to the blue line. Rodriguez. Looks like we have an injury, or at least it looked like possibly one behind the Maryland net as McAvoy went down for the Terps. They just blew the whistle there to make sure he was all right, but he got to his feet relatively quickly. Just looked like he took a spill back there, not contact.
Took a spill, knocked the net off its moorings. Thankfully, he's okay. We'll get a face-off to the left of Pelletier.
Going to apologize a little bit for some of the grainy quality tonight on the stream. We understand that it looks a little bit like 1995 on your screen right now, but we are limited to what we can do based on the internet here at the Gardens. We'll have a better quality version of the game available for rewatch following tonight's game. Puck goes into the offensive zone. Landon Nguyen fanned on what looked like a shot there from a tight angle. Delaware will get a chance to go the other way. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc waits, gets inside. That was a real nice move. Back out to the blue line for Rodriguez. Rodriguez holding. Nguyen was putting on pressure. His shot comes in, was deflected. Bergman couldn't find it at his skates. Keep it alive, though, as Swain goes back out to Rodriguez. His shot in was tipped off the skates of DePoy. DePoy will quickly dump the puck in the right corner. Chasing after it, but Delaware the first there with Bergman, and it'll be dumped in by Swain as the Hens get a change. It went off the pads there, Pelletier. He ended up sticking the puck out to Drake. And now back to DePoy as this is relatively a new group working together. Steinberg's wrist shot goes wide. Rebound chance, but in the end, Drake couldn't get his stick on it. Green holding the puck. That giveaway here, wrist shot, and that one patted away. Beganowski tried to make a poacher's effort there. 17:20 left opening period of play. No scoring yet, but Maryland's looked pretty sharp so far. And that's good for Coach Joe Carter. As he talked to us before the game, the slow starts were a big concern.
Absolutely. They're getting outscored 10-0 in the first period this year as well.
As the puck goes back out to neutral ice, Airy takes it there. This puck is poke checked near center ice by Justin Smith. Eden gets the puck. He knifes up ice. He tried to dump that one in. Was denied by Michael Nauman. Still being knocked around in the offensive zone. Nauman with the puck. Pass forward towards Saunders. Penn is flipped up by the Maryland bench. Chase down ensues. Goes Maryland's way with Tucker Healy, who's been an absolute real spark plug for Maryland offensively this year from the young freshman from Connecticut.
You can really notice the difference in his game ever since he scored those first two collegiate goals of his career. He's playing with a lot more confidence, I noticed, from up here. Scored again last night. He's playing some really good hockey.
They wade in here for the faceoff to the right of Jay Cooper's getting the start in net here for regular goaltender Justin Nevinger. Puck goes in behind the boards near the Delaware net. It goes out to the blue line where McAvoy holds it in. Only goes as far as the right corner. Puck loose. Flaherty comes up with it. Couple of pokes near the blue line. Here's Tomaitis. Tomaitis with a shot off the pads of Pelletier. He sticks it to the corner. Maryland will take it. He's back out to center. Maryland being led by Height. Tried a wrist shot, got knocked off of his stick, and now back towards Landon Nguyen. McAvoy. Back to Height. Now here comes Nguyen slicing down the right wing boards. Played around for Wilson. Over to Blake Wanner, but Wanner's pass back out to the point was intercepted. Now here could be a break the other way possibly for the Hens. Raymore leading the charge. Wrist shot from Raymore. That was deflected and then went over Pelletier's net back out to the blue line for Rodriguez, who dumps it into the right corner. Puck goes loose, back out to the blue line. Sent back for Rodriguez. Tried a D-to-D pass to Nauman, got past Nauman's stick. He was able to fire it back in, but Delaware offsides. They had to quickly tag up.
See this new line out there of Wynn, Wanner, and Wilson. Not really much playing time together at all, but again, coach wanted to change up those lines. As Wilson's got 3 points in the year, Wynn's got 1. Wanner still to get his first point. Freshman and waiting for his first collegiate point.
Raymore goes across him. Really good display. Passing a backhand chance denied by Pelletier, but not all the way as it found a way behind him after he got a ton of the puck, and Delaware takes the 1-0 lead. That's a tough one there for Pelletier, and he seemed like he got all the backhander that was right in front, but in the end, it finds its way to the back of the net with 14:08 left in the opening period. It is 1-0 Delaware. You can credit that goal to Joe Wojcik.
Yeah, it seems like Pelletier got that at first, but then he couldn't really track that down. Did a good job playing catch, it seemed, with the Blue Hens. They get an early lead here, 1-0.
Puck goes quickly into Maryland's zone. They try to clear it away with an airy wrister, then a shot comes in from Rodriguez, and they scored. 2 in quick succession. Adrian Rodriguez with the goal, at least it looked, unless it was tipped in front, but otherwise the D-man puts it in the back of the net for Delaware. Those goals came, looks like 7 seconds apart. Tough break for the Terps, and right as we curse them, as we say, they may have been off to a good start, and now all of a sudden they're behind by 2 goals.
Yeah, you really got to be careful here. You can't let this come back to bite you. We've seen them into quick deficits so far this year. They've done a good job coming back, but those are 2 quick goals.
So Maryland's got to try and recollect themselves. Here's Eaton, a wrist shot from the high slot. Great save by Hooper. He let out a rebound, but no one from Maryland gets steered in. Now it goes out in front for Eaton. He has 2 chances, and neither of them find the back of the net as Hooper does a good job holding strong in the crease. And now we have a little bit of a wrestling match going on in front of the net between Liam Eden and Adrian Rodriguez.
How about that initial sequence by Eden, just rifling that puck? Did go into the chest of Hooper, but able to track his own rebound, wouldn't give up on the play, keep fighting, and gets a little bit physical afterwards. That's the captain trying to get a goal for his Terps team.
So we'll have the face-off come here to the right, it looks like, of Joey Hooper. Wrist shot quickly off the one. Face-off by McAvoy goes wide. Now here's an opportunity for break for Delaware. Delaware really likes to run it up and down the ice. They've showcased it so far. This top line here, at least what has been for most of the year, of Bergman, LeBlanc, and Swain has been really effective for the Hens. Here's Healy. His pass forward was poked back to center ice, where Benny Bergman takes it. Bergman, a fancy move to get by one defender, but his pass towards Swain was intercepted by Height. Pass goes back out to center ice. Terps can't get it all the way out. A bad pass there goes off to Eden. Nearly put him into trouble as it goes out to Saunders. Penn for Delaware. He tries to fire it in. We have a 2-0 game here. 12:45 left, opening period of play. The Terps need to try and find their footing in this game before it gets out of hand. Pass forward intercepted by Saunders. Penn dumps it into the left corner. Chasing after it, Healy will play it off of the boards. Over to McAvoy. Now going forward, it's McMenamin as the fourth line getting some work. He hit that one off of Rodriguez as he tried to dump the puck in. Those two will collide in the right corner as the puck drifts back out towards the blue line. It was held in by Airy. Goes back for Rodriguez, who wasn't pressured, and he does a good stick move to beat one defender and gets a pass up to Saunders. Penn. Jowett gives it off to Rodriguez for a wrist shot. That one saved by Pelletier as it drifts behind the Maryland net. Quick wrist shot from in front. Rebound chance for Rodriguez, and he scored. Adrian Rodriguez with 2 goals now on the game in just the first period for the Hens, and it's 3-0 Delaware.
Man, oh man. This Delaware team is having a really fast offensive game. You got to try and slow them down heavily, especially with those offensive zone entries. They're just flying into the zone and absolutely buzzing. If I'm Coach Carter, I'm sure calling a timeout has at least crossed my mind.
As again, the slow start curses Maryland. They've made it through 3 minutes of pretty good hockey where they put some pressure on the Hens, but ever since then it's been all about Delaware, and their speed has just killed the Terps so far. They got to get themselves together, and they got to do it in a real hurry as this puck goes out to the blue line for a McNamara his shot, and that one's gloved by Hooper. He'll hold for the faceoff with 11:37 left in period number 1.
You got a big offensive zone draw here. New forwards come out. Try and maintain possession as long as you can here in this offensive zone. Slow down that Delaware offense. Have some time of possession yourself.
This one was tied up. Maryland ended up winning the face-off, but nothing came of that play for Steinberg. Delaware tries to clear. DePoy trying to control it there right at the Delaware blue line. Now there's a scramble for it. It's sent back behind the Blue Hens net. Rodriguez will play it off the boards. Trying to get something started offensively. Goes into the Maryland zone, but nothing really generated from that attack. Ray McNamara plays it off the boards for DePoy. Then DePoy plays it off the boards for Steinberg. Steinberg's leveled down there by the Maryland bench. A really good hit. Delaware will try and, again, recollect themselves at center ice. Drop-off pass. Rister comes in. That one didn't have anything on it. Maryland will take it the other way with Drake, but Drake's pass forward intercepted by Nauman. And ends up back at the stick of McNamara. He goes long pass forward from Piper Holman, looking for Drake. Drake gets hit against the boards, but Healy right back in there trying to get it back. Him and Green are back behind the Delaware net, tied up. Now on the near boards, there's a tie-up for the puck. It finally comes out to Nauman for Delaware. Pass forward for Jake Quinn. Now it ends up at Maryland for Maryland right in front. And a backhander from McAvoy. He's saved right in front by Hooper. It was a bad turnover, and McAvoy nearly made something of it, but Hooper has stood up to the challenge so far, and he does again on that save.
Puck almost went in the net. Came pretty close, but Hooper stands his ground. Looks like this unit will stay out. Faced off to Hooper's right.
It's won by Maryland. A quick wrist shot comes in from Liam Eden. That'll just be another cover down there for Hooper. And with 10:05 left, we'll get another face-off, this time to Hooper's left. We appreciate you joining us here on Maryland Hockey Network. I'm Mark McClure. Matthew Sillo on the call here from the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland. Second time these two teams have met this year. The first time was down at the Bowie Ice Arena. And that one ended 6-0 Delaware. After 2 periods, the game was called due to a loose pane of glass behind one of the goals. And the repairs were deemed too significant to do in the time that they believed it would be reasonable. As a wrist shot comes in here from the blue line. We're hoping to get all 3 periods in today, but the result already shaping up similar to the last one. Maryland going to try and prevent that from happening, but Delaware has really just done a good job changing the ice from one side to the other. They're a speedy team, and Maryland has got to catch up. They're going to try and develop a little bit of a 2-on-1. Here's Beakonowski with a shot off the pads of Hooper. He makes the save and keeps it away from Healy. Flaherty comes up with it, and now here comes Delaware. That pass got under the stick of Raymore and ends up with Airy. Airy's pass forward goes off of Wilson, sticking into the Delaware zone. Wilson looking for an option. He's able to get it off to Wanner. Wanner trying to work around Flaherty in the corner. Still holding, and he is nailed by Patrick Swain across the far boards. Now here's Benny Bergman trying to knife past Airy. Can't do it. Airy with a good job stonewalling him, and he goes forward, but his pass to Wanner was behind him. That allows Nauman to try and loop one clear. Couldn't do it on the first effort. Second effort does get back to the red line. Wanner tried to dump it back in, but Delaware the first stick to that puck. Rodriguez tried to get it forward for Benny Bergman. Now it goes off for Nauman, who drifts into the offensive zone, but the Hens were offsides. And the faceoff will come out to neutral ice. But 8:14 on the clock here in period number 1. 3-0 Hens. Draw one by Maryland, but it ends up going all the way through everybody and right to the pads of Pelletier, who's got to cover the puck for another whistle.
See how they could do with this defensive zone draw. Got to try and spend more and more time on that offense. Eliminate this Delaware offense who's been really flying.
Face-off was won by Maryland, and Drake was getting ready to knife up ice, but it looks like we're going to have a penalty here, probably on Maryland, at least based on what we're seeing on the ice. The call will go here on Jason Steinberg. He'll go to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. So with 8:07 left in the opening period of play and a 3-0 lead, the Delaware Blue Hens will go on the power play. Out to the blue line here for Rodriguez. Goes off to Bergman from the right. Data shot comes in. That was saved, but it's loose in front. Still a couple of problems until Maryland finally gets it back out to the blue line. It's still held in, though, by Green. Swung around the boards. This one popped up. Smith tried to come up with it, and then it gets out to neutral ice. Maryland trying to cherry pick there to get it to Tucker Healy, but that one was cut out by Green. Green with the puck at his stick now. Minute and 26 seconds left on the power play. Smith dumps the puck in behind. Pelletier has to leave it there, but it was a 50-50 race to the puck, and Airy had to absorb a big hit. He sent it off of Pelletier's pads himself, and then Maryland gets it out to center ice. Now here comes Healy. Could be a 2-on-1 for Maryland, but Healy could never get it developed, and then Healy's hit on the far boards by Green. Maryland fans wanted a penalty on that one.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. That was borderline.
Now on the other side, we could have an issue, but a good job from Pelletier to stonewall. Looked like that was Smith on the way in. Still being held by the Hens. Raymore tried to go to the corner for LeBlanc. LeBlanc sliding across the blue line, trying to wrist shot into the top corner. Good job by Pelletier to make the save off the shoulder. Down to 30 seconds left on the power play. And Maryland able to get it clear there as Swain comes up with it. Swain dumps the puck in behind Healy, the first one there. McNamara tried to clear the zone, couldn't do it convincingly. Then this one's lost at center by Delaware. Here's Healy coming in. Healy couldn't get a shot off in the end, and there'll be a penalty coming up on LeBlanc. They were hoping for a penalty shot there. That's a close one. It looked like LeBlanc was closing the distance down, but they'll go with just a minor penalty for tripping on LeBlanc.
Yeah, it was a clear breakaway at first, but like they did close that gap, as you said. It seems like the puck was almost past the goal line by the time Healy was tripped. But either way, penalty clear as day. And looks like we'll get 5 seconds of 4-on-4 and then almost a full power play for this Terps team.
It'll be DePoy against Smith. DePoy wins the faceoff, tried to get a shot off, but his stick was lifted there.
I like that idea by DePoy. Just get something generating right off the bat.
Steinberg quickly out of the box, and he'll join the attack. Eden goes back to McAvoy. McAvoy tried to pass one in. It goes out for Steinberg. Now to the left dot. It's Eden, wrist shot, and that was blocked up high. That was Green on the block. Here's Eden again at the left dot. Tried to go across the ice for DePoy, but it got under his stick. Backhanded pass to the slot where DePoy was there. Could be a clearing chance, and it will be, as Smith gets it to the other end of the ice, and Maryland will have to reset.
Good cycle for the Terps. Just couldn't bury that one. Saw that pass from Eden. Just missing. Fanning on the shot. Here they go again.
And here's Eden, the main man. A wrist shot from the high slot. That one goes just high. He sends it back out to the blue line, though, for Height. Height sends it for DePoy, who had trouble settling it down. Good hit against the boards. Now Tomaitis comes up with the puck. Tomaitis passes forward for Swain. Could be a shorthanded chance for the Hens. Swain tried to get a pass back. Still has the puck. And then backhands it off one of the Terp skates down there. Long pass forward for Maryland as they try to flip the ice quickly with Wilson a wrist shot. And Hooper with a save. Nauman will get the clear for Delaware.
Good power play so far. You're getting your chances, but this Delaware defense, has stood the test pretty well.
Goes off the boards as Wanner brings it up ice. Maryland brings on another one of their power play units. Wanner dumps it off the corner. He was met by Nauman with a good hit. Here's Nguyen, the blue line. Gives it off for a Tomaszewski wrist shot. The puck popped up in the air, but Wilson couldn't get anything on it. Wilson still had possession though as he goes out to the blue line. LeBlanc back on the ice. Wrist shot comes in, and that a pad save by Hooper. So now we're back to even strength with 4:05 left in the opening period. It's 3-0 Delaware. Pass off the boards to LeBlanc. LeBlanc from a tight angle, and a good save by Pelletier, and Rodriguez's follow-up did not generate anything. Here's Hooper, a wrist shot, and that one goes off the glass behind the net after it was deflected in front. We're still in a threatening position, though. Hooper gets it off to Raymore. Raymore would beat Pelletier there as he went down, but he ran out of real estate.
That's a good cycle there by the Blue Hens. It all started when LeBlanc motored his way in. He received that pass off the boards, and he just powered his way into the offensive zone, creating a great shift.
Raymore intercepts a pass. He's in space, but his pass across ice was tipped by Tomaszewski. Here's Hooper, a wraparound chance, but he couldn't jam it in there at the far post. And we have a whistle here, and it looks like a penalty coming up on Maryland. Looks like we're going to get another high stick. No, check that on Delaware. Goes on Larry Hooper, and Hooper was quick to the box with a smile on his face. It kind of felt like he knew that was coming. So Maryland, another opportunity to go here on the power play with 3:03 left in the opening period, down 3-0, and this could generate some momentum for them if they can find the back of the net before the end of the period.
I liked their last power play. They just couldn't find the back of the net. Try and bury one here, at least get one on the board before the intermission.
Tomaszewski over to McAvoy. Back to Tomaszewski. Tomaszewski waits. Wrist shot from the high slot, goes wide. Healy picks it up at the blue line. He surveys the ice. He'll give it off to McAvoy at the far boards. McAvoy tried to jam one in front, but Beganowski was not ready for it, and Delaware will clear.
Delaware's doing a really good job of closing up that slot area.
Here's Eaton along the right wing. He's near the right circle, then he'll drift into the corner. Play it off the boards for McAvoy now. Across to Tomaszewski, scored! Daniel Tomaszewski has his first goal of the year on a great setup by Tyler McAvoy, and the Terps pick up a power play goal to make it 3-1 with 2:18 left in the first period. That was a rifle.
He wired that one towards the top of the net off the one-timer. Cross-ice pass, and he buries that one. Power play goal, exactly what we were talking about. Trying to find the back of the net. Great guy to do it. Defenseman Tomaszewski, first goal of his collegiate career, the freshman. And Liam Eaton will grab that puck, put it on the bench. As a souvenir for Tomaszewski. Congratulations to him. Awesome goal.
Now Maryland, hopefully they get some life in those legs, and that will bring the competitive level of this game to a new level. Rodriguez with the puck. Off the board, Saunders Penn tried to get it to Jowett. Jowett trying to take advantage of a scramble. Now Saunders Penn with it. It goes in front, and a big block in front by Ray McNamara.
Got to use that Tomaszewski goal as some momentum here. His first goal, defenseman ripping one home in the power play. Got to gain some momentum from that.
DePoy, a backhand chance. That one patted into the corner by Hooper, and that was just a tough break for DePoy, who's a lefty. Saunders Penn is walled off by McNamara as he tried to bring it into the offensive zone. Goes over to Airy, now back to McNamara. Pass forward to Drake. Drake's really showcased his quickness early in the season as a kind of another one of those spark plug type of players for Maryland. Not a big guy, but a quick guy.
We had the chance to talk to his dad before the game, and he said that Trevor scored 5 goals and 1 assist in his first game with the D3 team. He got called up to this D2 team. We're going to get a penalty here.
Yeah, it's going to another one here on the hands as Pelletier quickly gets to the bench. The pass goes off the boards. Maryland gets an extra skater on. Here's Beganowski. Gets it to the blue line for McAvoy. Cross the ice for Healy. Now in front for Eden, and they scored! Liam Eden, the captain, with a big-time goal as Maryland took advantage of the delayed penalty. And they make it 3-2 with 43.9 seconds left in the first period. He didn't make up to your prediction last game of him scoring a goal, but he picks one up here in the first period against the Blue Hens.
Didn't make up for that prediction. Well, that's a nice goal here, firing up the crowd. It's exactly what they needed. We got a one-goal game here. They're really turning the momentum. Exactly what you needed to see. Trying to finish up this period strong. Great goal. Tomaszewski, now Eden.
Take a look here at the situation. It looks like we have another penalty on Delaware as Dylan Green goes to the box, and Maryland's going to get a power play. So now they're down just one goal, and they're at a 5-on-4. They have all the momentum right now after Delaware scored 3 in the middle part of the period as the Terps are offsides here as Beganowski's bringing it in. But again, Maryland's just had an issue, it seems. At the very beginning of the games, they go down 3-0, and then all of a sudden back-to-back goals here late in the first period, and they're right back in the game.
It's almost as if they like playing from behind. I don't know what the case is, but I mean, man, we've seen it so many times this year. They get off to those early deficits, and then they just come firing back. A lot of times it comes once the next period starts, but occasionally, like this period, they get it figured out in the middle of one.
Slapping from the point was blockered away by Hooper, and then he makes another save on a second effort by the Terps. They try to tie this one up really, really late in the period. We only have 5 seconds left, but a wrist shot in there from Tomaszewski was blocked, and then that'll bring us to the end of the first period with the score at 3-2. Delaware scored the first 3 goals of the period and looked like they were well in control, but the Terps with 2 late goals from Tomaszewski and Liam Eden, and they find themselves right back in the game.
Yeah, and if I'm the Terps, I'll definitely take this period. I mean, it looks like the Blue Hens were taking complete control of this game, the opening half, and then towards the end, Terps took control. Head to the locker room, you have all the momentum on your side, scoring those 2 goals, making a 1 deficit here.
Goals in the period for Delaware, 2 for Rodriguez, both of them in quick succession, and then 1 from John Tomaitis with the other one. So that's how things shake out in the opening period. Or Joe Wojcik, I'm sorry, was on that first goal for the Hens. But either way, at 3-2 here, we're going to head for the intermission here on the Maryland Hockey Network. We'll be back for the start of period number 2 after the intermission. And we're back here on the Maryland Hockey Network. A privilege to have you with us here. We're at the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland, for this ACHA Division II game between the Maryland Terrapins and the University of Delaware Blue Hens as we're getting ready to start the second period. It looked like we were in some big trouble here early, Matt, in this game. Early goal from Joe Woe just to get us started, and then literally under 10 seconds later, Adrian Rodriguez scored. He adds one more before the onslaught was over to make it 3-0, but Maryland responds with a Daniel Tomaszewski goal and a Liam Eden goal late in the period to give us a 3-2 score as we enter period number 2.
Yeah, and like we said last period, entering this game, Maryland was getting outscored 10-0 in the first period. They lost to Delaware in their first game, 7-0. And I know that one, Coach Carter, they wanted to kind of have that one be a wash. It was their first in 2 years, but still, you get shut out like that, you wonder how it was going to go once they got off to a 3-0 lead. Ended up tallying 2 goals themselves, limiting the damage, enter the locker room down 1 goal. Now they enter the second with momentum on their side.
Dylan Green is still in the box here as that penalty time carried over to the second period. We were actually just informed at the intermission there that unlike the NHL, in the ACHA, if there's a delayed penalty and you score while you have the delayed penalty, the penalty still counts and goes as a power play chance. So that's the explanation there for the goal and the Delaware player having to go to the box.
And it goes to show how much more important it is to try and capitalize on that delayed call, because if you score, you still get the power play anyway. So it makes it even better to score once you get that delayed call and get the goalie to the bench quickly.
So Maryland definitely has a lot more juice going, but can they keep that juice is the big question between periods 1 and 2. Did it last through the intermission, or is Maryland going to come out sluggish? Again, we'll see as we get started for period number 2. Healy has the puck now. He lays it back for Eden across the ice for Tomaszewski. His shot is blocked. Is saved, there by Hooper in net, and Delaware will clear it out to center ice, but only as far as Tyler McAvoy, who gives it off to Healy. Healy in some tight quarters, gets it off to Tomaszewski. Eden a wrist shot, and a good save made there by Hooper. He ends up laying it off behind the net there, looking to try and catch the Maryland player's nap, and they did see it, though, and Delaware able to get it clear regardless of all those situations. Tomaszewski gets it back, gives it off for Eden. Eden tries to backhand one in front, goes off a stick and back behind the net again. Now in front, a chance for, looked like that was McAvoy, and he was robbed on that effort by Hooper.
Looks like Beganowski tried doing a little bit of a Michigan goal or something there. Tried getting that puck on a stick, doing a little something. I like that move that he tried. Always good to see, getting some finesse in there. They almost got a goal off that shift. Good start here for the second period.
Draw goes to the right of Hooper. It's won by Maryland. It goes out to the blue line. They barely held it in. Good job by Airy as this one swings around the boards. 5 seconds left on the power play. Maryland might be able to get one more shot off. Airy, or that was Hyde, that rips in a shot. That was blocked. Now it goes out to Wanner. Green back on the ice. Maryland's going to want to get one more shot off if they can, but no one was in the right circle where that pass went. So now quickly Delaware can try and get better footing in this game as we're at the even strength with 18.5 left in the second period. Airy up against the boards, trying to kick this one loose. He's down there with Green. Maryland did come up with it for a moment, but Height couldn't create anything with it as it goes out to Flaherty. Flaherty lines up a half slap shot, and it ends up being patted away by Pelletier. Goes back out for Swain at the blue line for Delaware. He goes down as he tried a backhanded shot that goes to the corner. Maryland tried to clear, unsuccessful. Goes back out to Flaherty in some space. Wrist shot. That was a good job closing down by Wanner. Maryland can't clear again. Flaherty with a shot that came in and was blocked into the right corner.
Those cross-ice passes, you got to be careful with. Delaware's been getting those passes through the slot area and onto the other side of the rink. Doing a good job with that so far tonight. Maryland's got to watch out for that.
This one off the boards as Maryland tries to start something offensively. Tried to force it into Drake. Ends up at the blue line. Maryland comes up with it in their own zone. They get it up to Drake. He's put down on the ice by Flaherty. Delaware swings it around the boards as they try to get it forward for Jowett. And that's going to be icing on Delaware. Maryland will get to walk the ice and get a offensive zone faceoff.
Going to take advantage of that change. You see fresh legs come out for this Terps team. Delaware has to stay.
Face-off will go to the right of Hooper on this one. Holman will send this one around for Liam Eden. Eden over to Viganowski. Backhands one behind the net for Healy. Healy tried to center one back for Holman and ends up in the corner. Now on the other side, here is LeBlanc knifing in and a good poke check away by Ray McNamara. But then McNamara lined up for a big hit in the corner by LeBlanc. Delaware still holding the puck with Saunders Penn. Penn tried to go around the boards with it. Maryland comes up with it with Beganowski, but he is just absolutely surrounded by blue sweaters. Not much he could have done with that one. Puck goes out to Saunders Penn. He took a heavy touch on it, still came up with it along the right wing boards. Goes behind Pelletier's net. Maryland came up with the puck, tried to clear. Nauman tried to hold it in. It got past him, and now he's a 3-on-1 for the Terps. But a bad pass from Beganowski pretty much killed it. Healy still with it, lays it back for Beganowski. Goes to Eden, a wrist shot. And that one looked like it was just barely deflected off the glove of Joey Hooper. Now here's a countering chance for Delaware. Wrist shot comes in, and a great pad save there. Smith was denied by Pelletier. Now Healy was in a threatening area, but he lost the puck on the way in. Here's Smith, backhands one. Wrist shot comes, and that one didn't have much on it. Maryland can attack the other way with Pedersen. He had it taken away. Goes back out to center. Maryland tries to recollect with Tyler McAvoy. McAvoy goes forward for Peterson. Lays it off for McMenamin. Goes past his stick. Now Jetson Koo try to pass in as this puck is flipped up along the far boards. Behind the net for Adrian Rodriguez. 2 goals in him for this game. This puck hits off the boards. Icing waved off, so Jetson Koo has to track back and make the play as he's trying to avoid Tomaitis, who was chasing him down. Maryland's clear opportunity doesn't get much for him as Raymore held it in. 14:50 left in the second period. It is still 3-2, no scoring yet for either side in this period. The door opens up down there in the right corner of the ice as Wojciech was hit against the boards by McAvoy, and that'll force a stoppage in play.
Not really sure what that was all about. Looks like they're trying to fix that now. Seems like we've seen it all this weekend. Door opening, pucks off the ceiling, gloves coming off.
The good news about Laurel is the fact that it has a pretty high ceiling. So you shouldn't see too much off the rafters here at the Gardens.
Yeah, compared to last night, that old barn, pretty low ceiling, a lot of pucks off that ceiling as well.
This one's knocked around, ends up with the high slot. Wojciech's shot goes wide. Tomaszewski is going to try and start the attack. Pass forward off the stick of Wilson. He couldn't control it. Ends up at the near boards. Now it's something by Delaware. Chasing after it, Raymore. Raymore lined up for a hit. It was weathered by Raymore. Harry came flying in there. Goes back out to the point for Flaherty. Now towards the high slot. It got past Raymore's stick. And an opportunity for Wynn to counter. He dumps it in before he got hit by Green. Swings it around for Wilson. Wilson tied up down there with Flaherty. And Delaware able to clear to center. Icing waved off yet again, so Tomaszewski has to chase it down. Good change of direction by Tomaszewski behind the net to beat one defender, but his pass forward left a lot to be desired. Now Flaherty can go to Green for Delaware. Joe Wojciech drifting in right, dot a wrist shot, and that one right at the midsection of Pelletier. He covers it up for a stoppage with 13:32 left in the second period.
We see them look a lot better at the start of this second period compared to that first. I don't know what it is. They just haven't been a good first period team, at least starting the first period off. They've been able to finish off well this last first period tonight. Not sure what it is, but the second period looked much better, certainly.
LeBlanc was upset down there as he went down to the ice after the faceoff, and he flipped a poised stick into the stratosphere. This one's flipped around. Wrist shot from LeBlanc goes wide. On the other side of things, Maryland brings it in with Drake, a backhander right in front, and that one pretty much just scooped off the ice by Hooper for a stoppage, 13:02.
Yeah, good pass by Steinberg to get that created. How about Trevor Drake? We were talking about him last period. His dad said he's in the Maryland Hockey Hall of Fame. Scored over 100 goals in his high school career. Really good high school player making that transition into college. Sophomore, but obviously no season last year. We love having him on the team.
Face-off quickly leads to another stoppage, and we'll get another one to the left of Joey Hooper. But this one will have to come out to neutral ice. Thanks again for joining us here on the Maryland Hockey Network. I'm Mark McClure. Matt Fusillo is here with me at the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland. This is the second game between these two teams. First one won by Delaware, 6-0 after 2 periods of play. Maryland has not yet lost in this building. The one game they played here against Stevenson. Eden trying to generate something. That was knocked away into the neutral zone. Tyler McAvoy's game winner against the Mustangs generated a lot of buzz in this building.
On his birthday, too.
That was the last time the Terps played here. Trying to make it 2-0. Wrist shot comes in from Keller. That one's saved by Pelletier. Not sure if he knew he saved it, but he did. And he gets a whistle.
Yeah, how about that last game here? Stevenson, final minutes. I believe Stevenson tied it, and then McAvoy firing home from the point. Just worked his way in. Got that goal on his birthday. First of the year for him. The senior defenseman, assistant captain. Great moment for this team.
Terps win the face-off as it goes behind for McAvoy. McAvoy holds and passes forward for Wanner. Taken away by Nauman as the pass had a little too much heat on it. You can see LeBlanc getting real physical out there for Delaware. Slane with the puck right at the blue line. He was hit against the boards. And the puck goes behind the net, and then another big LeBlanc hit. He gets it off to Benny Bergman, but it went past to his stick, and Wanner tried to clear. LeBlanc gets it back, goes out to the point for Nauman. Nauman lines up a one-timer, and that will hit off of Wanner's stick and into the netting.
Nice to see Wanner with the big hit. Still looking for his first point. But he's a player I'm really keeping my eye on. I think he's going to break out any game now. He's a big guy, 6'5". He's playing on the second unit a lot this season. I think he's going to break out very soon.
Face-off will go to the left of Pelletier. This one played off the boards as it goes out to the blue line. Nauman let it get under his stick. Jetson Koo trying to chase this one down. Him and Green are locked up in the left corner. This one knifed out by Pedersen and ends up going the length of the ice. McAvoy has to chase it down. He's being pursued by Jowett and Saunders Penn. Delaware gets possession as it was swung up the boards. Nauman with it now. Wrist shot well wide. And it swings around for Green, who backhands it back in. Gets it for Smith. Smith to Penn. Penn looking for an option as he was pinned up against the boards. Height takes it for Maryland. He's going to lead the charge. Height was able to bring it in. His timing wasn't great. He was nearly hipped off the puck there by Nauman. It's out for Koo. Back to Height, who tried a wrist shot. And that one he fanned on. Here come the Hens with Saunders Penn. Penn a wrist shot from a tight angle. That one may have caught the pad or the post, one of the two, but he had his angles covered either way for Pelletier. Slapper comes in from Jowett, and a rebound, and they scored. Saunders Penn with the goal off the rebound from the left circle, and he gives Delaware another multi-goal lead as it's back up to 2. 4-2 the score with 10:28 left in period number 2.
Just a loose puck, and he just ripped that one home. Interesting goal there, but makes that lead 2 goals now. And we'll see how they can respond here. Got the scoring started in the first, 3 unanswered. Now here's 1 to start.
Into the corner, Maryland offensive zone. Maryland tries to clear. Effort was fanned on, but Tomaszewski was there. We've reached the halfway point of the second period. It is 4-2. Delaware has the lead and the only goal of the period, coming just moments ago from Saunders' pen. Now Delaware trying to take advantage of some of this momentum that they've grabbed. Here's Tomaitis, directs one in front. That was near the skates of Lundstrom. This one flipped back to center ice. Now Maryland could have a breakaway chance. Here's Drake. Drake, a great move. Oh, he was denied by Hooper. Back out to the blue line. Here's a one-timer from Beganowski. That one high and wide. The follow-up comes in from McNamara. That had nothing on it. Loops out in front. Now Healy had a chance to jam it in. Elected to take it behind the net. Goes to McNamara at the point. Wrist shot comes in. It was deflected in front. Healy comes up with it. Or that's Tomaszewski, I'm sorry. Tomaszewski goes back for Beganowski. High slot. Directs one in front. Eden trying to get a shot off. Still couldn't. Now left dot again. Shot from Beganowski. That one's off the pads of Hooper. Rebound. Still loose for Tomaszewski. And another pad saved by Hooper. Some life in this game now for Maryland, but Hooper's denied him so far as Healy gets the puck in the corner. Loops into the left dot, a wrist shot, that's high.
Really good shift here.
McNamara brings one in for Eden. Eden centers one for Beganowski, and it was blocked by Tomaitis as it goes out for Lundstrom, and they finally get a break for the Hens. They still will only get two off the ice as Healy brings it into the high slot. And then Larry Hooper does a good job breaking it up from behind.
Guess Tucker must have seen that McDavid goal from last night. Tried taking on 4 Blue Hens himself.
Now Delaware able to get a full-fledged change. 7:55 left in period number 2, 4-2 Delaware. Eden tried to lay one back off the center ice. McAvoy being heavily pressured by Joe Wojciech. He loses the puck. Here's Wojciech, high slot. Wrist shot goes off looked like almost the elbow of Pelletier, and it's saved into the netting for a stoppage and play. That was a hectic couple of minutes, Matt.
We finally have a whistle. We go back to that Trevor Drake breakaway. He made a good move, just couldn't find the back of the net. But you got to keep your head up after that. He's going to get his first goal very soon. Just got to stay patient. Almost had it there.
That's his second breakaway in as many games. Still looking for that first goal, though.
Again, he's a guy, definitely has that goal-scoring touch. 5 goals, 1 assist in his first game with the D3 team. Just got to stay patient. He'll get that first goal with the D2 team very soon.
Here is Joe Wojciech. Brings it into the Maryland zone. Tried to pass it back for a teammate. No one was there. Ray Moore gives it off for Nauman. He sent one in softly, and that was just sticked away by Tyler McAvoy. Goes into the Delaware zone where Nauman recollects it, gives it off to Rodriguez, and now up to Wojciech. Cross-ice pass from Hooper to Raymore. Raymore holding, he was forced back outside. A creative pass there between his own legs. Gives it off for Hooper. Another good pass to Rodriguez, and he fires one in thinking the corner was the intended target there, but denied by Pelletier as he got the glove on it.
I think during this whistle, it's a good time to thank all the viewers that are watching Maryland Hockey Network. We're just starting this. We're only a few games in. But we thank you for your support. We see the numbers growing every live stream more and more, so we thank you for watching.
We really, really appreciate all the support for Maryland hockey so far this year as we try and bring more coverage to the program. Airy in a battle with Swain behind the net for this puck. Goes out for Benny Bergman. Bergman tried to get it back out, for Green, but it got past him and off the boards, and that's going to force pretty much a hard reset here from Delaware. As they go up the ice, pass forward to Devin LeBlanc. The blocker shot from the left circle. That one off the pad of Pelletier. Still alive, though, for the Hens. They try to pass into the slot. That one intercepted. Maryland in a 2-on-2 the other way. Steinberg tries to dump it in past Green. Delaware comes up with the puck after that dump in, but they can't control it as it gets to the neutral zone, and this one flips off the top of the boards for a stoppage, and a faceoff will come out to neutral ice.
See this top unit come back out, and faceoff will be in the neutral zone right near the Maryland blue line, excuse me.
Face-off won by the Terps. Goes straight to Piper Holman, who gives it off to McNamara. Pass along the boards to Eden. He was forced off the puck by Rodriguez. Still went into the Delaware zone, and Maryland the first to it. Healy did a good job weathering that hit from Saunders' pen. Delaware's clear attempt only goes as far as McNamara wrists one right in front of the net, and that one just gloved by Hooper for the stoppage with 5:21 left in the second period.
If I'm Maryland, I'm trying to win this face-off back and get a quick shot on net. Trying to recreate what we saw a few shifts ago with that Trevor Drake breakaway.
Face-off goes quickly to Eden, try to backhander. It's still loose in front, and Healy scored! It just drifted to Tucker Healy, and he had nothing but the cage to shoot at. He scores to make it 4-3 with 5:16 left in the second period.
Yeah, they won that face-off, got straight to the dirty area, and Tucker Healy shoves the garbage right into the net. Fourth goal of the year, and he's on fire, playing some really, really good hockey as of late.
That's Healy's fourth goal of the season. In addition to that, Adrian Rodriguez is going to the box for a penalty. Didn't see the call.
And that is a great shift for this team.
So now Maryland's going to go on the power play. With 5:16 left in the second period, down just one goal now after Healy puts it to just one goal.
You got that offensive zone face-off, you scored a goal, now you're on the power play. Couldn't really write the script any better than that.
As the clear attempt here from Delaware's tipped up into the netting for another stoppage and play. The tip will probably bring the face-off out to the neutral zone. No, it'll stay in the Maryland offensive zone. It'll go to the right of Hooper. This is a big chance here for this top power play unit to tie this game up. Faceoff went out towards McAvoy. He tried to get it off of his skate, couldn't control it. Ends up in the corner. Tomaszewski tried to keep this puck away from Swain. Swain came up with it. Tried to get it off for Devin LeBlanc. But LeBlanc, realizing that he's more concerned with getting back on defense, get the numbers back for the Hands.
You see McAvoy and Tomaszewski on this power play. They're going with that two defenseman strategy on the PP quite a few times this year.
I think they trust Tomaszewski as an offensive defenseman. Trust his shot. Now it's Tomaszewski, gloves one down in the slot, a wrist shot, and a great save by Hooper. Now here's Healy, trying to turn back towards his own blue line. It ends up getting past McAvoy, and he'll have to reset at center. 55 seconds left on the power play chance as Healy brings it in. It gets it off for Beganowski, left dot. Shot in is blocked away by Hooper. Now Eden. He's pinned up against the boards as he tries to get through traffic. Goes out for Tomaszewski. Tried to play it off the boards for McAvoy. Now it's a 2-on-1 for Delaware. Led by Swain. Swain takes the shot, and it's saved by Pelletier. Now trying to get a change here. They got some tired legs on the ice. Goes to Healy. He lost it. Drifts towards neutral ice for McAvoy. McAvoy gets it to Wanner, who is a fresh leg. Now back to McAvoy. His shot goes over the net. Swings around the boards for Landon Winner. Immediately took a spill. Back out to the neutral zone. Could be a breakaway chance for Cal Raymore. Raymore lays it back for Hooper. And that one may have caught the mask of Henry Pelletier.
I think it hit the pipe.
You can hear something audible there as it goes back the other way. We're back to even strength. Raymore again in front, tries to direct it off the pads of Pelletier, and he swipes that one towards the corner. Larry Hooper waiting for the puck in the slot. It's taken away by Wanner. Wanner's clear attempt isn't clean as Joe Wojcik was there to make it difficult. Goes back behind Maryland's net. They can't clear it again as Airy tried. It was held in by Flaherty. And then finally Wanner tries to loop it and does officially get it to center and give Maryland an opportunity to catch their breath just for a moment, though, as it's fired right back in. 2:35 left in the second period. Maryland just trying to hold on as Raymore's right in front, denied by Pelletier with the glove.
It's a great save by Pelletier, but you simply can't let the puck get to that area to begin with. Keep talking about it throughout this game so far. They're doing a good job, Delaware, that is, getting that puck into those dirty areas, right through the slot. I mean, Maryland is giving them an open door.
Face-off won by Delaware. Rodriguez fires it right back into the corner. Jowett tried to get it off for Smith as it's now loose in the right corner. Scrum down there. Fort goes out to the blue line for Nauman, who wings it around the boards again for Saunders Penn. Tried to backhand it in front, didn't get enough on it. Now Maryland with a clear chance with Drake. Drake gets it to Steinberg. It's poke checked away by Nauman. Now it's loose there right by the logo. It goes out for... That was Ray McNamara. Goes into the offensive zone for Drake. Tried to knife through a couple of defenders, but Rodriguez did just enough to put him off. Now Smith. Smith just directs one near the crease. No Blue Hens were there. Jowett plays it off the glass to get it back to Smith. Smith is leveled by Piper Holman in the right corner.
Holman's a pretty big kid, too. 6'4", graduate student.
Maryland on the other side. A quick wrist shot comes in from Steinberg, and that was saved by Hooper for a stoppage with 89 seconds left in period number 2. We have a 4-3 hockey game.
Playing some entertaining hockey, right? Last few minutes back and forth. Already got 7 goals in this game. It's been a pretty even game, I would say. Very entertaining, and the fans are certainly into it as well.
Off the face-off, there's a clear attempt there from Ben Bergman, and that one went off of the netting, so an immediate stoppage, and now with 1:25 left, will come out to the neutral zone. Face-off goes to Delaware. Quick pass forward for Devin LeBlanc. LeBlanc with a really great pass to Bergman right in front, and again Pelletier locks the door.
Pelletier is really good at handling those 2-on-1s. Actually, I had the chance to talk with him a few weeks ago about those 2-on-1s specifically. He said that he thinks he's a good goaltender at handling them himself, and it clearly shows. He's really good at that. One of the many strong suits of his game, as he seems to lock the door very well on those.
Wrist shot comes in again. Pelletier sticks that one into the netting for another quick stoppage. And we talked with Coach Carter before the game about the value of Henry Pelletier. As he's been in net, his stats don't really show the kind of great plays had this year. 4.5 goals against average. Save percentage just shy of 88%. But he's a guy that's played juniors before he came to the Terps, so he's got a little bit more experience than most of your first-year players. And he's been pretty solid for Maryland in net, and he definitely brings a lot of energy to the arena every day.
Yeah, and playing in juniors really gives him that extra maturity as well. He's a sophomore, but he's also 21 years old. So even though he's an underclassman, he's a true leader for this team. And like you said, the energy, whenever he's not starting, banging on that bench like we saw last night, certainly.
Keller brings it in, a quick shot in front. You can see a sprawl attempt there from Pelletier. It went wide, thankfully for him, and then now a wrist shot from the point by LeBlanc. And another save by Pelletier. And I'm telling you right now, with every save, Henry Pelletier, his confidence is going up right now.
Speaking of him, he's having a good game so far. He gave up 4 goals, but he's making some very sharp saves in the crease tonight.
And that's another thing that you see from Henry Pelletier is he is not going to let anything really face him in net. He knows that his team is in the game and they need him right now, regardless of the 4 goals that he gave up so far through the first 2 periods of play.
And you can really notice his confidence as well when you just see him stand in that net.
Now Maryland going to try and get one right here before the end of the period. There's only 12 seconds left, but that was intercepted by Rodriguez as Maryland tried to move it up ice. Now down to 5 seconds. This one backhanded towards the right dot. Maryland was the first stick there, and this one will be knotted up. And that's the end of period number 2. The score is Delaware 4, Maryland 3. Both teams with a goal in that frame. Delaware got the first one, but Maryland responded. And we find ourselves with the same pretty much situation that we had at the end of the first period, a 1-goal game. And the big key for Maryland is that they need the first goal of the third period.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like they really have trouble scoring first at any period, especially the first periods. But if they can't find a way to come back, that opening start in that first period really going to come back to bite. But this team has a lot of fight in them, and I have full faith that they can really have a good comeback here in the third. They're only down by 1 goal, and they went into that first intermission with a lot of momentum. I'm sure they're looking to continue the same going into the third here.
Goals in that period for Delaware. They got the first to make it 4-2. It was Saunders' pin on a rebound, but then Maryland off a faceoff. Tucker Healy found himself right in front, and nothing but the cage to shoot out. He fired it in to make it a 4-3 hockey game through 2 periods of play. A lot of competition left in this one. Should be an exciting third period, so make sure you stick with us. We'll be right back for period number 3 after the intermission on the Maryland Hockey Network. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Gardens Ice House in Laurel, Maryland. Ready for the start of period number 3 here between the University of Delaware Blue Hens and the University of Maryland Terrapins. We got a tight one here between these two sides. First game, Delaware pretty much wiped the ice with Maryland, but not the same story here. We looked like we were in trouble early in the game. 3-0 Delaware was dominating on both ends, but Maryland has clawed their way back. We have a 1-goal game going for the last 20 minutes, but the big thing for Maryland, they have got, and I cannot emphasize this enough, got to start this period off strong.
Yeah, you have got to get off to a good start here. You're down by 1 goal, only 20 minutes left in this one. It's a lot of time, but a little time at the same time. So, here you see a good chance right off the bat.
Goes into the right corner. Puck drifts in front. And now Hooper can take it for Delaware. Now off to Cal Raymore. A shot comes in. Wasn't handled awfully cleanly by Pelletier, but he gets away with it as no one was there to clean up the garbage. And this one backhanded in by Liam Eden. Tried to direct one in front for Beganowski. Beganowski backhands one to the high slot, but the only one there is Larry Hooper. So Hooper gets it off to Flaherty. Long pass from Flaherty. Key connects with Raymore. Raymore tried to backhand it in front. No Blue Hens there, though, as it goes off the boards. Backhanded by Beganowski around the horn. Trying to get it over for Airy, but Raymore was able to weather that hit. Raymore still being hounded. He finally gets this one off to Hooper. Hooper back out to the point. Here's Keller. Keller a wrist shot. That one was deflected pretty much right from the start. Goes around the board, still in the Delaware offensive zone. But Beganowski holding. Gets it off to Landon Nguyen. Nguyen went down, and then Bergman lost a stick. He tried to kick it towards the slot, but no one there. And now Airy can take it the other way. His pass was behind Tucker Healy, and then Healy will just dump the puck in and go for a change. Now here's Benny Bergman at the near boards. Bergman gave it up, now got it back. Pass into the center for Devin LeBlanc, was poke checked away. Swain trying to get it back on the forecheck. He does, he's able to swing it around. Again, height, the first one there, as he gets leveled against the boards by Ben Bergman. Now LeBlanc with it towards the slot. Wrist shot comes in. That one was deflected just wide. And then Wanner does a good job just clearing. Going to get the Terps for icing here. It's waved off, though. So now Maryland was able to get up ice and put some pressure here on Rodriguez. Rodriguez gives it off. Goes forward for Devin LeBlanc. LeBlanc up the right wing. Tries to play back off the boards for Swain. Then Wanner tried to clear. Only went as far as Nauman. He fired it back in. Had to tag up, though, for Delaware. They were offsides. They get a fresh 5 on the ice. Apart from, actually, a fresh 4, everyone but Nauman went for the change. Goes into the Delaware zone. Not much there, though, for Maryland. Now here's Smith, a wrist shot. That one right at Pelletier, though, and he makes the save.
Long stoppage here. Long period of play, without a stoppage. Over 3 minutes. Start this third period. If you're Maryland, you got to get this next goal. You can't let Delaware score. Can't make it be a 2-goal deficit.
Face off one by Delaware. Nauman tried to fire it right back in. It hit off the ref as it goes back out to neutral ice. Penalty coming up here as there was a trip down there. Actually going to be interference. Call will be against Delaware as they are going to send Will Jowett to the box. 2 minutes for interference and a big power play here for the Terps with 16:47 left in the third period.
Biggest 2 minutes of the game here so far.
Face-off goes to Maryland. Tomaszewski tried to get it off for Beganowski. Ends up at the stick of Eden. Beganowski gets it back by the right circle. Beganowski, a little bit of a miscommunication there with Tomaszewski, and Maryland will have to reset back at center with Tyler McAvoy. McAvoy backhands it off the half board, swings it around for Tucker Healy. Healy tried to get it back again for Eden, ends up with Beganowski, now back for Healy again. Delaware is able to clear it. No, they're not. Didn't get past the blue line.
Nice save by McAvoy. Barely keeps it in.
McAvoy wants it, trying to get something off. We'll go to Eden left circle. Back to McAvoy. Now over to Tomaszewski, trying to pick out the top corner. What a great save by Hooper. My goodness.
Looking to
Joey
recreate.
Hooper, how about that one?
And Tomaszewski looking to recreate his first goal. Pretty much the same exact thing on the power play, right side. One-timer.
He had a great spot picked out for that one, but at the last moment, Hooper able to get a piece of his glove on it to stop that one from tying this game up. Still a minute 15 left on the power play. Chance, though, here for the Terps. Face-off goes to Delaware. Green tried to clear it. Swings and misses on the first attempt. The second attempt does get through clear, but it looked like that was played with a high stick. But yes, it was on Maryland. So this will be now a defensive zone face-off for the Terrapins.
We'll see how they can make this transition here. Got a minute 5 left on this power play. Get it out of the defensive zone quickly. Get back on that offense.
Draw one by Maryland. They do try to quickly switch the play to the offensive zone. Healy goes down at the blue line. That's going to be offsides on Maryland as they try to bring it in with Healy. 15:43 left in regulation. 57 seconds left on the power play. It is 4-3 Delaware. Draw goes to the Terps, right to Airy. Airy will play it off the boards, in deep for Maryland. Keller couldn't get a clean clear. Wanner gives it off behind the net for Wilson, back to the point. Wrist shot comes in, and that one not too difficult for Hooper to just glove, and he'll freeze the puck.
Gloved that one like a shortstop, and he'll get that face off to his right once again.
Wilson will face off with Larry Hooper here to the right of Joey Hooper as the wrist shot comes in from the point from Height. They try to clear. Height gloves it down, tries again. That one may have been deflected by Wilson in front. Either way, it was saved by Joey Hooper. Now Cal Raymore knifing up ice. Tried to lay it off for Larry Hooper. And Maryland will take it the other way. Maybe have one more chance to start a rush here on this power play. But Landon Wynn dispossessed by Cal Raymore. Raymore left dot. Gives it off for Hooper. Raymore tried to get it back, but ended up being just too far to get past his stick as Jowett gets ready to get back on the ice. He is back on the ice, and we have 5-on-5 hockey. Something could be developing here for Delaware. Larry Hooper, wrist shot. He snipes one. What a shot by Larry Hooper. And he gives the Hens some breathing room. It's now 5-3.
That's a really nice goal. Really good move by Hooper, and he buries that one. It's a really tough goal to take for Maryland. They're down by 2. Going into this third period, you had to get the equalizer. Really tough goal. Got about 15 minutes to score 2.
So now Maryland needs a response. They want to battle their way back in this one as their clock is slowly trickling down. We have a 5-3 game after that Hooper goal, as again, for the third period, Maryland has given up the first goal. This one goes down to the other end of the ice. And we'll get a call for icing.
Smart play by the Maryland defense to not touch that puck. They knew it could have been icing. Just squeaked past the net as Pelletier hugged the post as close as he could, trying to wedge out that icing, and successful.
Faceoff goes to the right of Joey Hooper. Maryland wins it. Shot comes in from Piper Holman. That one ends up drifting behind the net. Healy hits the deck as it goes to the near boards. Delaware tries to clear. McNamara tried to hold it in but couldn't do it in the end. Now the other side. Possibility for a chance there for Delaware, but nothing materializes. This drifts back out to center ice. Goes back for Piper Holman. Holman plays it off the boards. Now a cross pass to Flaherty. He tries a wrist shot, and a good save there by Pelletier. He'll freeze it with 13:37 left in the final period of play.
Both teams will get some fresh skaters. We'll get 10 new bodies in the ice.
This face off to the left of Pelletier. Won by Delaware. Goes out to Green at the point. Swings it around for Swain. Now LeBlanc has it at his skates, but he's tied up. DePoy trying to kick it loose for Maryland. Then he puts LeBlanc on the ice. And in the end, it'll be Delaware that gets it with Benny Bergman. He gets right in front and he scored. Ben Bergman makes it 6-3. Delaware with 13:10 left. He got right in front and nobody picked him up.
Nobody picked him up. Been struggling with that the entire game. It's an open door into the slot. Whether it's passes or making the move themselves, Maryland has really struggled with that tonight.
This 6-3 lead now ties the largest this game has ever been when it was 3-0 Delaware's. They've just turned on the Jets in the third period. Now they go quickly across for Bergman, and he scored again. Ben Bergman, 2 goals in 15 seconds for Delaware, and it's now 7-3. That was a great feed across there, and Bergman couldn't miss.
Yeah, and there's going to be a timeout here. Comes at the right time. We saw 2 goals quickly in the first, and they scored a third. They didn't use that timeout. Now it's the perfect time to use it. If I'm Coach Carter, I'm thinking you've got to call a timeout, and you did just that.
Yeah, things have just totally fallen apart for the Terps in this period. They entered it 4-3, and in just about pretty much no more than 2 minutes of play, they find themselves down their largest margin of the game now at 4. And the timeout will give us a chance to take a timeout up here. We'll take a break on the Maryland Hockey Network. Be back. We have 13:05 left in the final period of play. 7-3 Delaware. And back here on the Maryland Hockey Network, Mark McClure, Matt Fusillo on the call from the Gardens Ice House. We appreciate you joining us. And all of a sudden, Delaware has taken full control of this game. They have a 7-3 lead, 2 goals in this period by Ben Bergman have really expanded the lead.
We saw some frustration early in the first period when Delaware jumped off to that fast start. Then the frustration went away as Maryland had a lot of momentum towards the middle of this game. Now that frustration came haunting them back. You saw frustration on the bench and players, coaches, really tough sequence there. It's a 7-3 game now. Very tough to say.
Now another opportunity for Delaware the other way with Swain. Goes across for LeBlanc, and he scored. Devin LeBlanc puts one in the back of the net as another gorgeous pass went straight across the ice from Swain, and LeBlanc makes it 8-3 Delaware.
Too many times this game, cross-ice passes, and there's nobody home. Again, the open door.
That looks like it'll be the end of the night for Henry Pelletier as Aiden Jones makes his way off the bench. Not sure. No, it doesn't look like it. Looked like for a moment there it may have been.
Looks like he's
discomfort.
shaking up.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure if this is a pulling or if Henry's looking a little uncomfortable out there as he gets off the ice. Either way, Jones steps in.
Yeah, he tweaked something. He's laboring on the bench. And it looks like the trainer's, yeah, he's pointing to something.
So definitely some discomfort there. They'll bring in Aiden Jones either way. It's been a long night in between the posts for Pelletier. He's made some nice saves, but at the end he's been hung out to dry far too often tonight.
Yeah, you simply can't put the blame on Henry at all.
I mean, there were 3 cross ice feeds that
Three
went
in
in
a
for
row.
goals. Those are really, really tough saves.
You gave him no break, really no chance to make the save on those. I mean, the 2-on-1s, how many of them have we seen tonight? Pelletier's a great goaltender handling them, but when it happens that much, they're going to score 8 goals.
Here's Saunders' Penn behind the Maryland net. He was knocked off the puck. And then Maryland will get it off to Liam Eden. And Eden will flip it forward. And we have a whistle here. Not sure what the call was there. But either way, the faceoff will come to the Maryland zone to the left of Jones. Face-off won by Delaware. Straight across for Rodriguez. Rodriguez tries a wrist shot. That one wide the whole way. On the far board, Saunders Penn trying to come up with it for the Hens. He can't, as it goes to Piper Holman for the Terps. Holman plays it off the boards. Long pass forward for Liam Eden. He beat the icing down there. Backhander right in front by Eden. Now Lucer trying to poke it in front, but Wilson denied at the doorstep. Here's Eden again, trying to recover the puck. Tried to backhand one in front for Wilson. And in the end, the Hens are able to clear it, and their forecheck's been great after those clears. Find themselves in their own zone here with 10:45 left in the final period of play. They lead 8-3 as this puck is deflected and goes up into the Hens bench.
Pelletier just stood up on the bench and nodded his head. And now he's sitting back down again. We'll see what the story is. And we hope he's okay.
Puck goes down behind the Maryland net. Terps try to clear. Piper Holman will play it off the glass. Ends up at the stick of Hooper into the high slot. He's got all kinds of space with a slap shot. That one finds its way in after a rebound. Cal Raymore with the goal. As he's another new name on the score sheet for Delaware, and the score goes to 9-3.
Yeah, this game has really gotten out of hand. Not much else to say after that. They stayed competitive, but now gates have just opened. Delaware to pound in those goals.
Face-off goes to Delaware. Now to Drake. Drake tried a centering pass to Steinberg, and it ends up in the corner for DePoy. Delaware, chance for them to clear with Larry Hooper. Hooper across the ice to Green, and then it's dumped in by Delaware. Raymore battling for the puck. Gets it off to Hooper. High slot. A wrist shot comes in. They try to get a deflection. Ended up off the pad of Jones. Swings behind. Airy goes to Tomaszewski. Pass forward for Drake. Got under the skates of Flaherty. Drake trying to go down after it, but Keller the first one there for Delaware, and then he'll go up to Raymore as they start the attack. Cal Raymore wrist shot. That was good defense though by McAvoy.
Net came off.
And the net comes off its moorings down there with 9:07 left in the final period. 9-3, Delaware in the lead. Face off, and the puck goes to center for Delaware. Maryland has to chase after it. Delaware was offside, so they had to tag up. Drake tries to direct this one for Maryland towards center ice. He's able to do so. Flaherty trying to come up with this puck as it was loose. Goes behind into the corner. Tomitis gets down there, as does McMenamin, and McMenamin with a big hit on Tomitis. Tomitis holding his shoulder there, so he's going to have to lumber to the bench. Tomitis is able to fight his way off the ice. And Maryland brings it into the Delaware zone. Rodriguez tried to clear Healy, got the puck and wristed it in off the pad of Hooper. Delaware still looking for a clear. Can't get it out cleanly as it goes into the high slot, but the first one there is a hen. That was Lundstrom, and he's able to clear it to center, and then Lundstrom hit hard at the near boards by McNamara. Maryland looking to get a chance in front for Healy. It's at the near boards. Healy trying to get it back for Maryland after he hit the ice. It's backhanded towards the left dot, and finally Delaware is able to clear fully and get it to Benny Bergman.
Maryland's not forechecking hard enough anymore in this third period. Once Delaware started to score all these goals, they're not applying that pressure like they were earlier in the game.
Swings behind the net. Piper Holman off to Ray McNamara. Gets it off to Eden. Eden lost the puck as he tried to bring it out of the defensive zone. And now Swain comes up with it. Swain right dot. Tried to set one for Devin LeBlanc. Tight angle shot. He scored. Devin LeBlanc has 2 in the third period and put Delaware in double digits for the game. 10-3.
I think Healy made a nice play by deflecting that a little bit with the stick. But Delaware was able to get that rebound, get that loose puck, and barely get it into the net.
So now there's 3 Blue Hens with multi-goal performances. Adrian Rodriguez, Benny Bergman, and Devin LeBlanc. 7 minutes left in this final period. As, again, there was the quick restart as Jones is not really convinced by the structural integrity of the net. Now they're good to go. 6:58 final period. 10-3 Delaware. They have scored 6 unanswered goals.
Six goals all in this period, too.
And Maryland had held them under wraps for most of the game, and all of a sudden it just turned into an offensive clinic for the Hens. Here's Ben Bergman. Working his way up ice, lays it back for LeBlanc, left circle, and he scored. It went 5-hole. A hat trick for Devin LeBlanc. And it's 11-3 Delaware. All in the third period for LeBlanc, the captain, doing it all for the Hens.
Yeah, there are a lot of goals this game that simply should not be going into the net. I think that's another one there. But Blue Hens are turning on the Jets as they fly into the offensive zone. And
Delaware again with a quick shot off the face-off. That one went high. 6.5 minutes left in the final period. Here's Saunders Penn. Pinned against the boards by McAvoy. Penn able to get it back out for Flaherty. Goes back to Penn. Now wrist shot comes in and they scored. Justin Smith this time. Add another new name to the score sheet. And it is 12-3 Delaware. 8 goals in this period for the Blue Hens. And that time it's Smith that beats Jones.
And again, it's very easy to get down on yourself. Score 8 goals in one period. 8 goals in 14 minutes, especially. But, I mean, you got to finish off this game. And you still have hockey to play. I know this game is unwinnable at this point, but there's still a game to be finished off. You can't just give up. You got to keep playing.
Goes off to the near boards for Healy. They get it up for Eden. Possible breakaway chance for Liam Eden, and he scored. Liam Eden has his second goal of the game as he does a good finish on the breakaway. And that will get us to 12-4.
Eden just gives his teammates a quick fist bump, gets right to the face-off circle. The captain of this team just wants to keep playing and move things forward.
Out to the blue line for Delaware as they loop it back in for Larry Hooper. Hooper, shot comes into Jones. It hit off his mask and then ran it right at his pads. He was able to cover it up, though, with 5:15 left in the third period.
He was trying to track that one down and hit him up high. Then fell down to the ice. He was able to cover.
This one goes off the boards for Rodriguez. A wrist shot comes in. That got behind Jones, but he was able to scramble back and cover the puck.
It's always tough when a new goalie comes in, too. I mean, Pelletier gets hurt, and you never know when you're going to get that nod. Backup goalie, you're not on the ice at all. You get some shots and warm-ups, but, I mean, you come in, especially in the third period, you're not really fresh, so it's always tough for that backup goalie to come into action.
Rebound comes loose in front, and Delaware's going to score. Give another one to Cal Raymore, his second goal of the game, as he takes advantage of a rebound at the far post, and it's now 13-4. Raymore now the fourth multi-goal scorer for Delaware. You can see Henry Pelletier trying to rally the troops out there. You can see some heads hanging.
Yeah, heads hanging, and like we said, I mean, there's no chance they're going to win this game. I think we all know that. But you still got to keep your head up high. You still have hockey to play. And as long as this team is on the ice, you have to battle hard. It doesn't matter what the score is. It could be a 0-0 game, or it could be a 30-0 game. You got to keep playing hard. Play with that mojo. Play with some energy. Right now, they don't have any of it.
As the hands are off sides here on the entrance. And we'll get a stop at 4:25 left in the third period. 13-4 Delaware. This game came into the third period 4-3 Delaware. Delaware scored 9 goals in this period to Maryland's 1. Here's Steinberg, backhands one. Loose in front, nearly a chance there at the far post for Drake. And now here come the Hens. Quick shot comes in, save made. And a stoppage there. Shot came in from Quinn. And it is now 4:05 left in the final period. And this faceoff will come to the right of Jones.
Nice to see Pelletier banging on the bench. You really need that. And he's taking commands when he is on the bench, when he's not starting. It's really nice to see a guy taking charge and doing that. Like we were talking about earlier, Pelletier's leadership and his maturity.
Here's Drake, tries to go out to the blue line, but Drake's pass gets through everybody all the way down to the other end, where Jones will stop it with his stick. Gets it off for Airy. Airy working forward, dumps it into the corner. Healy chasing after it. He tried to kick it loose, went flying into the air and out to center. Pass forward to Healy again. Brings it past the blue line. Gets it over to Eden, right dot. He tries to pick out the top corner. That one off the tip of the glove. So drifts out to the far post. Swain try to clear. Swain holding the puck. Pass intercepted by Beganowski. A wrist shot from the slot goes wide. Now Eden backhands one to Healy. So under 3 minutes left in the final period. Healy, a really nifty move, but couldn't get the backhanded shot off. And now Delaware able to clear as it's played off the boards by Flaherty. And a whistle down there. Looks like that's going to end up being icing on Delaware. Goes quickly off after face-off win for Maryland. Height sends it over for McAvoy. Tried to get it off there for Landon Wynn, and it goes back out to center ice. Played off the glass for Wanner. Wanner trying to go forward. Intercepted by Rodriguez, goes to LeBlanc, tries to find the bottom corner. That one hits the pipe. McAvoy. Waiting, try to go long pass to pick out Wanner, who's behind the defense. Ends up going behind the net. Wanner tried to wrap around Chance. He was knocked off the puck by Rodriguez. There's 1 or 2 minutes left in the final period of play. Goes over to McAvoy. McAvoy tried to play it off the boards, intercepted by Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the high slot. He knifes in. Tried to get a shot up and was hit off by Wanner at the last moment. Now a wrist shot. Another one hits the post. That one came from Saunders' Penn. Now Rodriguez, left point. Wrist shot was deflected wide by Penn. Goes out to Wanner at the far boards. It's flipped up and gloved down by Delaware. Fired in by Keller. Wanner there. First backhanded. That was McNamara there first. He backhanded it to Wanner. Goes back to McNamara. Got under McNamara's stick and into the left corner. Delaware will take it there with Joe Wojciech. Maryland tries to clear, goes out for Green. A weak wrist shot comes in. That one saved by Jones. Raymore tries to come up with it on the forecheck in the right corner. Backhanded to the blue line. Nauman lined up a slap shot. That was blocked and went up into the netting for a stoppage with 46.7 seconds left in the third period. 13-4 Delaware.
We're surely going to get an interesting post-game speech by Coach Carter. I mean, this third period, complete disaster. Like you said, 4-3 going into it. Now it's 13-4. Unbelievable period for Delaware. You got to give them credit for that. But from the Maryland standpoint, completely fell apart.
Backhander in front never came towards Jones' net. 30 seconds left. Maryland will try and sneak one more in before the final whistle. As this one is knocked around in front, and Maryland scored. Hunter Airy with the goal. The junior from Newmarket, Maryland, has his first goal of the season as he takes advantage of a scramble there. Make it 13-5. It's the prettiest looking goal on planet Earth, but they'll take it. Third to 23.2 seconds left. Face off won by Delaware. Dumped in by Green. Backhanded around. Wrist shot from the point. Well wide from Green. Try to center one in front. But Airy comes away with it, and that will bring us to the conclusion of this game. Final score from the Gardens Ice House. Delaware Blue Hens 13 and the Maryland Terrapins 5. I mean, there's really not much you can say, man. It's just that was just a miserable third period for Maryland. There's no other way to put it. A great third period by Delaware. I mean, they just came in with all kinds of swagger in that third period. They knew that they were generating the opportunities, and all of a sudden, they end up putting 9 past Maryland in the period, and they turned what would look like it was going to be a really close game into just a complete blowout.
It's competitive for the first 40 minutes, right? And then had that disaster in the third and complete, meltdown in the third period. So as far as tonight, there's not much you could do. I mean, you got to go in the locker room, and I'm sure Coach Carter will have some serious words for the team, but you got 3 games next week, so they're back at it again Friday night. 6 days from now. Got 3 games at the St. James in Virginia. Got to keep your head up, and we said that last night going into tonight. And it seems like a cliche phrase to say, but it really is true. You got to keep your head up and have good spirits going into next weekend. because that's a huge weekend with 3 games. Delaware's a good team. You got to give them credit for their play tonight. But Maryland just didn't have it in the third, and that meltdown, there's not much you could do about it besides just move on.
Vince Falkowski, got to be really happy with his group of Blue Hens. They played really well tonight. A lot of multi-goal scores. Cal Raymore, multi-goal performance. Benny Bergman. Adrian Rodriguez had 2 goals as well, and the big man, a hat trick for Devin LeBlanc. The captain puts 3 in the back of the net. And for Maryland, really the only bright spot being Liam Eden. He put together 2 tonight. But overall, I think even he would tell you that it was just all around not good enough game for Maryland.
Yeah, he was not thrilled. You saw that last goal that he scored. He just gave a quick fist bump to his teammates, got right back to the face-off circle. Really a tough game for this team. But it wasn't that way for the first 2 periods. Just, again, that third period. But you got to see each other lift each other up. That's what we got to see. You saw Pelletier doing it on the bench after he got pulled. And we hope he's okay, by the way. It seems like he's doing all right now. But anyway, you got to see these players lift each other up. That's one thing that Coach Carter emphasized pregame today, is to lift each other up, have good spirits, and go into that 3-game series next weekend with your head up high.
All right, so that'll do it for us here from the Gardens Ice House. Final score, Delaware 13, Maryland 5. This loss drops Maryland to 2-5. Their next game is next Friday as part of the ACC Showcase at the St. James. We'll be there for Maryland Hockey Network. We hope to see you there as well in Springfield, Virginia. But if not, we'll be here, and we hope to have you tune in for that one as well. But for Delaware, they'll move to 8-5 on the season, and they'll make it a successful 2-win weekend, while Maryland comes away empty-handed on the weekend. They went 0-2 against Rowan and Delaware, but albeit those are 2 of the best teams in this mock conference. So thanks again for joining us here on Maryland Hockey Network. I'm Mark McClure. Matt Fusillo has been with me for the ride, and we'll see you on the next one. Again, final score here, Delaware 13, Maryland 5.